Alright, chat. So, for our final video of the evening, we are going to be checking out Brandon showing us the Kriss Vector 45, which, remember how I talked about yesterday, about that one pew that was incredibly fast, and I'm familiar. I don't think I've actually seen it, but I know that the Vector is even faster. So I am prepared to have a moment. So let's check this out.
Submachine guns are based. But SMGs come in a lot of flavors. A lot of times you'll have a small caliber that fires really quick, or you'll have a bigger boy that's not afraid to slow things down but packs a heavier punch. But if you're like me, that begs one simple question. ¿Por qué no los dos? This right here is the Kriss Vector in 45 ACP, God's caliber, and my God is it quick.
Okay. If this thing fires as fast as I think it does, and it's shooting a 45, that's a lot of fucking boom at a high rate of speed. Yeah, but you know what? It may be ugly as fuck to some people. Like, okay, regardless of whether or not you think it's sexy as hell or ugly as fuck all, if it does the job, who fucking cares what it looks like? Oh, it's Sema. Oh, he hasn't. Okay. Hang on a second. That 3-round burst fire. Like it was a single shot. It was that fucking fast. Is it 2-round? I thought it was a 3-round. Dang, that was a 2-round. Okay, I thought it was a 3-round burst. I thought it was 3-round. Okay, even so, 2-round burst. Fucking hell! Jesus! Yeah, like, holy fuck! I want to see that again. That full auto. That sounds like a small-scale version of the goddamn A10. That sounds like a mini version of the fucking Warthog. Yes, Carboy, this gun is absolutely in Call of Duty. Yeah, oh yeah, when Brandon giggles, you know you're in for a good time.
You know, honestly, I'm a little jaded these days. It takes a lot to get a machine gun to make me chuckle. This did the trick more than once. This gun is, I don't want to call it imp.
Brandon, it's not a machine gun. It's an SMG. You said it yourself. Yeah, YouTube, this isn't a submachine gun. This is not a machine gun, YouTube.
Practical per se, but you better hold the fuck on. Ladies and gentlemen, the Kriss Vector 45 ACP. Now, there's a lot of places you probably know the Kriss Vector from. Call of Duty, Warzone, as the futuristic submachine gun in movies like Total Recall. The Colin Farrell one, not the Schwarzenegger one. This bad boy has been pimped as the submachine gun of the future, kind of in the public consciousness, so to speak. Today, we're gonna see if it holds up. Now, most often when you're talking about the Kriss Vector, you're thinking of the 9mm version, which in my experience...
Honestly, that is whenever the Vector is brought up, the 9mm is the one that I think of, not the 45. I'll be flat out honest. I did not even realize that the Vector came in a 45 before this video got posted in the Discord. I thought it was a 9mm only fire. So the fact that it's unleashing 45 rounds that fast, holy fuck. They make it in 10mm as well? Oh, fuck me.
This is a lot more practical. You get to hold more ammunition. The recoil is a lot more manageable in full auto. We're not here for practicality today. We're here to spew as much hatred as possible in the shortest amount of time. Kind of like Twitter. Yeah, this one is chambered in the Lord's Caliber 45 ACP. It's actually got a standard Glock mag up top. I believe it's out of a Glock 21 would be the full size 45. But it's got a magazine extension here on the bottom, which allows you to effectively double the magazine capacity. Don't worry, YouTube, this is actually below 30 rounds this time. We're not just saying that. Just kidding, Susan. I'd never lie to you. I know Susan's not there anymore, but I'd like to still think she's watching over.
Cortanus? As we've seen in practical demonstration, a goddamn 22 long rifle has a surprising amount of power. So 9mm is still gonna do the fucking job. 100%. I understand 45 is God's caliber. I get it. 9mm is still gonna do the job. Fucking 22 is still gonna do the job. It will.
And I'll come to you if I need tech support.
Real quick, things like the Kriss Vector are very expensive, which is why we'd like to take a moment and thank our sponsor, Watcher of Realms. Watcher of Realms is a next-gen fantasy RPG. It's time to explore the mystical continent of Taya and immerse yourself in a magical...
Sorry, I need to back that up.
Next-gen fantasy RPG. It's time to explore the mystical continent of Taya. I not expecting this. For multiple reasons. K-Dog. Okay. Brandon, you have my attention. And immerse yourself in a magical world with 100+ unique heroes. Fall in love with stunningly epic visuals, rich and diversified strategic gameplay.
Did she just arrive from that tentacle?
Stunningly epic visuals, rich and diversified strategic.
God bless you, Japan. This is the ever-loving question right now.
Gameplay, a unique hero collection and development system, and all the hack and slash carnage you can handle. It's free to play on PC or mobile, but you're gonna want those better PC graphics. And right now,
I work with what is presented to me,
which means it's now the best opportunity to download Watcher of Realms. It will give you more. And throughout their first anniversary, they're doing a ton of events with new rewards. You can get 34 summoning crystals through daily login. Players can also get 2 new free legendary heroes from Fragment Summon and Fusion Summon events. Look at this new fighter called Helga. She can deal ranged multi-strikes to enemies and eliminate them quickly. I'm sure that's why you guys are gonna use her. They're also doing some surprise website events. Participate in those and you can win in-game rewards plus real-world Amazon gift cards. You can download Watcher of Realms
I'm not
for free
going
now
to.
on PC and Android and iOS. And if you're interested in those website events, you can click the links in the description to check it out. Or you could use that QR code right there. So if you want to support the channel, go check them out. We appreciate them sponsoring this video. Back to the content.
I'm gonna let you fire like 1 or 2 rounds on 45, or just on a semi-auto. Just to get a feel for it.
And safety's where?
Right here.
Okay. So we're hot.
Now you're hot. Yep.
Yeah. So
shit. Did you guys see that? Did you see that? It cleared a jam by itself. Or is that jammed, or the shell just... the casing just ended up resting there?
yeah. So
Am I crazy? Or is that... did it like kind of stovepipe? It was just kind of there. Okay, so kind of like just stuck there. Like when the bolt closed, it closed on... It caught it right on the lip of the bottom of the casing. So it didn't actually jam. Okay. I saw that. I was like, what the fuck? Yeah, Jameson, that's what, like, I was like, confused for a moment. I was like, did this fucking thing stovepipe? And then I realized, no, the bolt just closed on the lip of the shell.
All right, so try the burst.
Yep.
All right, you ready to ride the lightning?
Nice.
Yep, ready to ride the lightning.
Also, yes, your eyes do not deceive you. That is Demetrius Johnson, the pound for pound deadliest human
Ow!
in MMA. Had him down on the Unsubscribed podcast. That episode should be coming out shortly, but we did have him out
Cool.
for range day the next day because it turns out he's a bit of a gun guy. Had some fun.
Lean forward pretty aggressive, and just, if it gets away from you, just let off the trigger.
Yep. Wow.
Wow. Okay. Do you know the recoil on this thing is serious if it's pushing a guy like him back? A fucking, like, MMA champion. And it's the recoil is actually pushing him back. Do you know that's powerful?
Yeah. You see, I went into
Yeah.
it. Fucking A.
Unusably fast.
Yeah.
Like as soon as that full auto starts, you can't see shit.
Yeah, I couldn't. And I was scared to pull it too, and I was like, oh, it's empty. Fuck.
Something you might notice about this Vector is that it has the original hinge folding stock, which I just
Nice.
think is super hot. This is how all the Vectors looked when
Well,
I
I mean, J10, he did. He was leaning into it, and the recoil was pushing him back. I mean, that's fucking impressive.
was growing up, and when I kind of came into familiarity with the weapon system, this is what Vectors should look like. For whatever fucking reason, all of the Vectors that Kriss makes nowadays have that little stupid adapter plate at the back to use an AR-15 buffer tube. I know it's more practical, but god damn it, I like the hinge folder. I spent a lot of extra money to have the hinge folder, because I remember the first Kriss Vector I bought had the stupid AR buffer tube. Didn't know you couldn't swap it out. I was stuck with it forever. I still have it in a case somewhere. I've never looked at it since. Fuck you, Kriss.
Brandon!
For today's White Claw penetration test, I'm actually going to do the 2-round burst just to see if it's actually quick enough to get it with that second round. Probably not, but it would be fun if it does. But today we're using a peach White Claw because
I think it's gonna actually get it with the second round. With a 2-round burst, if he's able to put it on target properly, I think both are gonna hit. I do.
as you all know, I'm all about getting that peach, if you know what I'm saying.
God damn it, I have to say it. I can eat a peach for hours, chat. Eh.
I don't know what you're saying.
I'll tell you when you're older. Potential double penetration in 3, 2, 1.
Bye.
Maybe.
Oh, hang on. That happened so fast I missed it. Let's see. No, it wasn't fast enough. It wasn't fast enough. I think it had already launched. I think it had already launched by the time the second round was flying. Unfortunately, I think it had already launched.
I don't see two shots here. The second one was probably just a miss one way or the other, and whether it was the can flying away or whether the gun was just that fast, but we definitely got it on the bottom on that first one. Ripped it apart nice and good.
Yeah.
You ripped apart that peach from the bottom.
See, I knew you knew what I was talking about. So the way we have it set up right now is we've got the Magpul flip-up sights, and then on top we've got an EOTech EXPS2, I believe. Something also cool about this is that I think this is actually one of the original demo guns from Kriss USA. Because the only FFL engraving information I see, which is normally from, you have to engrave your FFL if you convert something to full auto, part of NFA compliance and everything like that. But the only FFL info I see is right here on the side from Kriss USA in Virginia Beach. So I think we might have ourselves an original all-American made Kriss Vector.
Wow.
When it comes to stuff like this and videos like this where I'm talking directly to you, I would always rather support American manufacturing and not cheap Chinese companies. Manual of arms here. We have our safety here in the rear. All of these are ambidextrous, by the way. So
Nice.
flip it down here, and it's off here as well. They're just linked internally. Cool part about this gun is that the selector is in a different space than the safety itself. So you can go from semi to 2-round burst to cowabunga it is, and it not affect the safety like it does on most firearms, like the ARs, AKs, stuff like that. They're linked. So you can keep it in fun mode while also going back on safe and just be one thumb switch, a button away. It does have a last round bolt hold open, so we take our charging handle
Yeah,
here,
Blaze, I saw
rear.
that.
Bolt stays open. We have our bolt release here, which sends it home. Magazine release is in the grip, which I have mixed feelings about. A lot of people, when I hand them this gun, the first thing they want to do is hold it like here. So if you squeeze too hard, your magazine drops out. And
yeah.
That's not good.
Yeah, I could see that being problematic. I'm gonna agree with Brandon. That is something of a bit of a design flaw. Because I'm not sure the forward the forward support handle. I don't know. Chat, you tell me if this comes standard on Kriss Vectors. If this is a standard accessory that comes with it. Because if it's not, this is not good placement for the mag release. Yeah, it's. Oh, really? I don't know. The way it's ejecting the brass, you might be okay, Dracel. Yeah, but zip ties. Here's the difference. Hang on. Let's see if I can back it up to. Look where this is the mag release right here. So on the AR-15, the mag release is further back. So like obviously I don't have an okay. He doesn't have an AR. The mag release is further back and it's an actual raised button, whereas this one is like literally built into the hand grip. It's literally built into it. It's just a small channel with the release raised to the same level as the rest of the hand grip. So your hand is naturally placed right around it if you're using the stock grip. So it's not the same as if you're holding the magwell of the AR, because it's the magwell, the AR release is further back. Your fingers are not naturally gripping it. Yeah. So that is some unfortunate placement.
Hard, your magazine drops out, and that's not good. But I've always preferred the forward grip anyway, so not really a problem.
Probably a better
for me,
grip
but
anyway with
I
forward.
do understand how that could be an issue. To fold our stock, we have a button here on the driver's side of the gun, I guess you'd put it. Press that button in and just kind of break it out, and the gun folds up. It's actually really nice and compact. Like that is a good little manageable size there.
Yeah.
Actually perfectly average. In fact, some might say too big. So when it's folded, there is no button to release it. You just kind of grab it from the stock and pull it out. Or as everybody does with stuff like this, you just kind of test, see if you can, which you can.
Nice.
It is worth noting that the charging handle is particularly stiff. The spring is pretty tight in here, which I can only imagine is what contributes to that ridiculous rate of fire.
Yeah.
Oh my god!
That.
Okay, I might like this more than the fucking M40, dude.
Is that Donut? It's Donut, isn't it? And he's got a pink sprinkles magazine. Donut has a pink sprinkles adorned magazine. God bless the man.
Okay, I might like this more than the fucking M40, dude. Yeah, I don't know.
It's one of those, like, is it controllable and easy to aim? Absolutely fucking not. Is it? Just, that's the definition of a fucking giggle switch.
That is awesome.
Eli!
Yeah, you definitely want to shoulder.
I want to see Eli shoot that again. That was fucking hilarious.
That's the definition of a fucking giggle switch.
That is awesome.
You definitely want to shoulder that shit. Yeah, now you see that is fucking...
Bro, that is like that is unmanageable. Fucking Call of Duty, baby. Literally the gun I would run on Warzone just because of the cycle trick. Because I could run around.
I love Eli.
With a laser, just like, ah, hit fire.
All right, now let's get down into the meat and the taters of what makes the Kriss Vector a Kriss Vector. So we've got 4 takedown pins. We'll just pop these out. It's kind of like HK style pins. You just pop them out. And these here at the bottom, I believe, captured the bolt. And we are good. So now we have an upper and a lower. Now, oddly enough, on a lot of firearms, like the AR-15 and such, the lower is what's considered the firearm. On the Kriss Vector, it's the upper. So we're just going to pull this lower off. So now we have our 2 pieces. We have our upper, which is considered...
Interesting choice. He left the magazine in for the removal. Like, I was watching him do this. I'm like, why is he not taking the mag out? Why is he not taking the mag out? The mag was still in. I'm like, like every part of me was saying, dude, take the goddamn magazine out before you disassemble it. But apparently, I guess this is just fine to remove with the magazine still in. Okay.
Off. So now we have our 2 pieces. We have our upper, which is considered the firearm, like I said, which is why I couldn't swap out that fucking stupid AR buffer tube that came on the back of all the new Kriss Vectors. That's basically just plastic.
Yeah, well, clearly saying this, but it's like my every gut instinct was telling me take the mag out, but obviously with the Kriss Vector, it doesn't hinder you at all.
With a rail. This is where the fire control group is. There's no barrel, there's no firing mechanism, there's no bolt, anything. All that is in the lower. So this is just a frame, I guess, is what you'd call it. It is interesting though, the fire control group is basically upside down. So I'm going to take it off of safe. And you can see if I fire, a little hammer swings down from the top. Almost like we talked about in the Alien video, how that kind of loops back around, I suppose. Little stuff like that.
Interesting.
Very intriguing. You know what makes these...
Yeah. Intriguing and very counterintuitive. I would not have, like... This is kind of hurting my brain a little bit. That the firing action is upside down. It hurts my brain. I understand it saves space. Like I understand based on the design from the way we disassembled it, but it's just hurting my brain that the entire weapon is upside down. Like the bolt, the barrel, everything is in the lower receiver, and the trigger assembly action is in the upper receiver going down. It's like, God.
Firearms unique, what makes them tick. And if you agree, you can always get your start in gunsmithing and weapons technology down at sdi.edu, down in the comments and, down in the description and in the pinned comment. So this right here is the lower, which contains our bolt. Drop our magazine. Later, dude. So this is your bolt right here as this locks in. So when this comes back, the bolt carrier per se is this piece right here. It actually drops down, putting a lot of, the way that they market it anyway, puts a lot of the recoil force downward into the housing of the gun instead of directly back into the shooter's shoulder. It's supposed to be a recoil compensation technique amongst other things. But it is interesting because when the bolt is riding, it's traveling a very, very short distance VC, which is again another thing I think contributes to the high cyclic rate.
Oh shit! You're right, that is hurting my brain. Wow. That it feels wrong. Yeah. That when the bolt retracts like that upon fire, it retracts straight downward. God, that feels, oh my, it just looks wrong. Compared to every firearm I've shot and disassembled, that just looks wrong. Yeah, clearly it works. Clearly it works. But It's hurting my brain.
The cyclic rate of the gun. It's only moving about yay much. Let's go ahead and pull this out the bottom. You see it, you get a better look. My hands are gonna be disgusting. We put a lot of ammo through this thing. How this just kind of freely floats through here. We twist it and our bolt comes out. Bolt,
Oh, wow.
very light. This little piece right here. We've got
Oh, wow.
the little knobs there that keep it in the track. And we've got our bolt face with our extractor up top. And you have your bolt carrier with the spring assembly and everything. And this is the base plate that sits at the bottom of the gun. So it's, I mean, it's not really all that complicated, but it's definitely a unique design. But does it actually work when it comes to mitigating recoil? Well, hard to say. If it wasn't so fucking fast, it probably would be very easy to control. But with its super high cyclic rate, if it does, it's hard to tell.
So comparing it to the other 45 ACP submachine gun we've got out here on the range, the M3 grease gun, let's compare that rate of fire real quick.
Very different.
Very, very nice and controllable. Now, what was the Vector like? So it's kind of like this, except newer.
You know what? Wait, see it again.
What was the Vector like?
Honestly, Brandon had some pretty good fucking control over that in full auto. He had better control than the other guys.
Nice
Watch that again.
Now, what was the Vector like? So it's
Like, you could see him kind of getting pushed a little bit back with the recoil, but he still had some really damn good control. Absolutely.
kind of like this, except newer, made of plastic, and hopped up on methamphetamine.
So to put this back in, I'm just gonna go ahead and stick this back in its track. Do the same with the bolt carrier. There we go. And you can see that the floor plate of the spring is what you see on the outside of the gun there. It's kind of wild that the actual guts of the gun are just this. It's pretty neat. Yeah, definitely an unconventional design, that's for sure. And now that my hands are completely fucking filthy, let's go ahead and throw this bad boy back together. So again, reassembly, pretty easy. Just toss the frame back on there. Everything just kind of snaps together, and then we grab our pins, slamming these bad boys back into place. This one's a little trickier on the bottom because you got to line it up perfectly. There we go. And
I will say it's interesting that the pins, from what it looks like, there doesn't seem to be a whole hell of a lot of retention on the pins. Honestly, it does not look like there's a whole lot of, like, he just popped those in and out really easy, and I'm not seeing anything to retain them once they're in position. That kind of surprises me a little bit. Like, I would be terrified with the amount of vibrations full auto on this thing is generating, that it might shake the pins loose. That would be a big concern for me, but apparently it works. Well, yeah, K-Dog, I know the AR pins are the same, but you're not dealing with the same level of vibration that the Kriss is when you're doing full auto. That's what my concern is it stems from the incredible high speed full auto, and you know the level of vibration traveling through the frame while doing so. And Cortez, I did think about that, like especially on the bottom. The base plate here is obviously with the spring is putting pressure on the pin, so that's giving it good retention. But these uppers, not so much. So maybe, Bath, it's possible. I don't know. I mean, it obviously works. I'm not saying like, oh, that this is bad design. It obviously works. I'm just saying I'm kind of surprised that I'm just surprised by it. That's all.
And we are good. We are back and ready to rock. So, overall thoughts on the Kriss Vector. Kind of a fucking bullet hose, to be honest, especially in 45. It's very hard to control in fully automatic. I cannot say how impressed I am with that 2-round burst. Very fun, very usable, very manageable.
Yeah, it does.
It doesn't even feel like it's 2-round bursts, though. It feels like one.
Yeah. I was talking to some of the shop boys about it, and I think we all agreed it would be really fucking cool. I don't think it's possible in this platform, but what would be really neat is if you had kind of a hyper burst kind of thing out of the Kriss Vector, where the first 2 rounds, you can do that 2-round burst, that 2-round hyper burst, and just bop, bop, and then everything after that in full auto is more of like a grease gun cyclic rate, a slower, maybe not even that slow, but just a slower, more controllable
Interesting.
full auto, but with that hyper burst. So that 2-round burst, very useful. You've got like full auto Glock cyclic rate in 45 ACP, and your magazine goes very quickly. Is there a use for this?
Yeah.
Yes, of course, I'm sure there is. Will this be anything for me other than a cool new range toy? Probably not. But hey, don't let that stop you from doing off-the-roof 360 no-scopes using a green laser in Warzone. Dunk on those kids.
Ladies and gentlemen, this was the Kriss Vector. Seriously, guys, appreciate you guys watching all the way to the end. And thank you to our special guest today. We've got Demetrius Johnson and my fellow podcast hosts from the Unsubscribed podcast. Had a great time shooting with you guys. And we'll actually have Demetrius on the podcast fairly soon. So look forward to that.
Love you.
Love you.
Oh, yeah, I guess. And I'll see you sexy YouTube mother lovers in the next video. Thanks.
Yeah. Gonna have to dump the audio on that.
10 minutes to load, 5 seconds to unload.
That was fun. That was fun. Great gun. I had not seen it outside of like Call of Duty, but damn, was that not a cool ass gun.